Hello, my name is Kabelo Habile. I am a grade 12 student at Willowmead Secondary School. As we celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child, South Africa also recognizes the great contribution made to women's lives by the struggle icon and human rights campaigner, Charlotte Motshekga. Today, I'll be speaking about school safety, violence, drugs, and substance abuse in schools. School violence is escalating despite the measures put in place by government to address it. Schools are rapidly and increasingly becoming arenas of violence, which impacts negatively on teaching and learning. Violence has become a part of everyday life in some schools, and the use of violence to resolve conflicts has been normalized. It is time for all children to come together to advocate for safer school environments in order to realize our right to quality and inclusive education for all. This country has experienced colonization and apartheid, and as a result, South Africans continue to live with a legacy of violence. This legacy and the normalization of violence leads directly to situations where gangsters rob schools, harming school staff, security guards, and sometimes even students in the process. Every child should feel safe from violence while at school, but how can we? There is also the issue of drug and substance abuse in our schools. A study on drug and substance abuse among secondary school learners revealed that most learners in Gauteng start to use drugs between the ages of 13 and 14, mainly for enjoyment, stress relief, and to enhance performance at school. The use of drugs and substances affect negatively on all the great contributions our struggle icons like Charlotte Motshekga made to ensure that we attend school despite the adversities we face in life. Charlotte Motshekga is one of the most significant figures in the history of South Africa, and young people, especially young girls, should look up to her with dreams of amounting to something great one day. The government should help continue her legacy by introducing measures in schools that will stop learners from getting into drug and substances abuse. We need measures that will encourage learners to stay in school and get education. Yes, I know that as young people we often lose focus to please our friends, to fit in, but I'd like to reassure you that you are special the way you are. You don't need to risk your life to please people or to feel loved. Drugs and substance abuse and violence in schools, all these are multifaceted problems. Effective interventions are needed to prevent these problems. A partnership between parents, learners, school governing bodies, and communities should be formed to address drugs, substance abuse, and violence in schools. Government has a clear role to play in convening these interested parties, and actions such as strengthening community policing forums could have a positive impact. Schools are centers of communities across the country, and it is clear that the violence we experience on school grounds is symptomatic of our violent society. All these problems can be prevented in schools if we all work together towards prioritizing safety. The values which many good, hard-working police officers uphold should be taught in schools, particularly integrity, respect for diversity, and obedience of the law. What is needed is a shift in mindset where these values are lived values. Resources should be shifted to where they are needed most. Children who have experienced violence at home must be given access to educational psychologists to provide psychosocial support. Safe and drug-free schools are where students can learn effectively. Our schools can become a safe haven for effective learning to take place. Let's make schools centers of excellence, not violence or drug hubs. Sizonqoba, we will conquer because we are conquerors. Thank you.